James from All Hail Internal Combustion, and we're going through our inventory and see what we got from Carlisle this weekend. Obviously, it's still going on, and probably a nicer day to go today than yesterday, but moving on. Pop's got some rally rims for his El Camino here, 10-inch. These are nice wide tires. Obviously, the tires are trashed. People have been asking some crazy prices for rally rims, and although we've seen actually a good amount of rally rims there for good prices, we also seen a lot of rally rims for way too much. So, anyway, he got these rims, tires for a good price. They actually came with a set of center caps that he wanted, and some trim rings. This one has some pretty intense curb rash on it, probably driver's side, I would imagine. But, yes. He also picked up a set of 4. I think one of them's bumping around in the back of the Ford, but we were paying attention to this back ring here. So we'll probably pop those on the El Camino to see what they look like, and we're going to check fitment on these 10-inch tires on the back end of the El Camino as well, so he can maybe pick out a set of tires for this. So, moving on. My hood hinge was broken on my LeMans. Although I haven't checked it to my other LeMans hood hinge, I definitely, this looks just like the one on my car. So, anyway, the spring is also in the back of the truck somewhere. But I picked that up for a good price, way cheaper than what I would have ordered it from a remanufactured place. I got myself a nice new oil pan for my car. Mine was pretty dented up and beat up. And thinned out here in the corners where I had to beat it back out because this whole section was dented in and back here was dented in. So, got a nice new oil pan. That was a good price. This is a reproduction. And although this is probably why it was cheap, brand new, but it had a run on it. I'm not going to keep it that color anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I think I got this thing for like $5. This is a master cylinder, I believe, for either my car or the El Camino. So this is a disc brake, part of a disc brake conversion. So slowly collecting parts for that. I picked up this nice fuel cell, my cheap gas tank that I got for $100 that has now sprung multiple leaks. Got this fuel cell instead of 15-gallon. This is a Jegs brand fuel cell, kind of, what's that, Willwood that yours is? Harwood. Yeah, to kind of replicate those, but, you know, Summit and Jegs does that. But I got the ports up here. Probably plug one, and the other one will go for a vent to keep this from expanding. It'll be in the bed of the truck. And then I have 2 ports there. You can see one's a little hogged out there. But one of those gets plugged too, right?
Yeah.
We'll probably plug this one and hook into this one to run my fuel line up to the front of the car. So I'm going to end up replacing that with 3/8 9 cop because it's 5/16 right now. So GTOs and high performance models did 3/8, a little bit more fuel flow. I picked this up too, brand new. My valley pan's very twisted up. Someone had pried along the edges with a pry bar a lot, and I got a lot of leaking actually from the backside, which I was informed that maybe that was, I didn't put enough gasket sealer in there. I didn't like that was the solution to that problem. But when I set this onto the block, this sits nice and tight up against the block. So stay tuned. We'll be doing some fitment issues on the oil pan to the block, make sure it fits nice, and the valley pan, and we'll do that before we do any painting, honing, cleaning, any of that stuff, just to make sure everything fits nice. So we picked this up for a steal. As you can see, it's marked $20. This is a floor pan for the F-150 driver's side, actually. When I had put the new interior in, which we'll have to do a little video to show you guys that, we put 2 new captain's chairs in there. They're not Bronco sliders, flip. They're actually double sliders. So now you can get into the back seat from both sides, and it came with a matching center console. That's not from Carlisle. Pop scored that on Marketplace pretty cheap. But when I pulled the carpet back for that and moved our amp into the center console because it was under the seat, didn't work, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you know, last minute project before Carlisle, I noticed that the floor was rotted out and it had a bunch of holes in it. all in this area, and this was one of the first things we seen when we walked in there. And the night before, so you can see it goes down into the footwell there and rolls up into the transmission pan. I ran these numbers while we were there. He has it marked from 80 to 98, but here on the tag it actually says 80 to 86, which would make more sense. That's our body style. Moving up into 98, you're actually changing body styles, but some things were similar in Ford and some weren't. 98, they were already well into plastic headlights and plastic grills and everything. So the thing that made my day yesterday was this right here. I found a driver's side inner fender well for my car. This was what was rotted out through here. As you can see on the old one, that was all rotted out from, now we could have fabricated, but to clean this, primer it, and get it ready to go back into the car, I saved myself a lot of time with this. Not that I might throw this inner fender well up for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. If nobody takes it, then I'll send it to the scrapyard. But take my little plastic clips out of here just so I have extras. But that was what was great. Now they say 66, 67 GTO, but they're all exactly the same. The grill's different and the motor's different, so no big deal. And the taillights. Pops picked up a nice steering column for his El Camino, because the one that's in there is trash. So although the steering wheel's trash, we don't care about that.
The steering wheel is disgusting.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. We're going to put a grand on there. We'll clean this and paint it and get it cleaned up. It came with turbo 400 linkages, which doesn't much matter to us, but we could probably put them up on Facebook Marketplace. Not really to make any money, but if somebody else needs them. But everything was good except for the pivot here on the other side of the rag joint here. It just needs a new boot, but maybe the one from his steering column's actually good. This is actually just a slip joint, isn't it? So that's a nice little steering wheel that he got for his car. That was definitely a necessity. His steering wheel is bad.
Yeah, and this is non-tilt floor shift, so I'm putting a B&M shifter in the car. And I don't like tilt steering because that dumb universal joint always goes bad. So this is going to save me headaches down the road.
So we also picked up some nice Grant steering wheels. This one's kind of beat up, but for $10, you can't beat it, man. I'll probably end up putting this in a work truck, like in my work truck. That'll be great, you know. The steering wheel's falling apart, but I love these Grant steering wheels. They look so classy, and why not just put a Grant in everything? So this is another one we picked up. This one was actually really nice. The foam is still very squishy. And it came with a GM adapter, or at least we think is a GM adapter. Everything but the button, but it has the horn pieces. It just doesn't have the horn hardware, which is fine. But it has a nice trim ring. It's always nice to have a couple of those around. So we picked that up. Pops picked this up on Facebook. I didn't realize it was a four-spoke steering wheel. I think we're going to end up putting this in the Civic, actually. So stay tuned for that. We picked up a sign to add to the wall. Oh, I got a scratch in it. Like our cherry bombs. Mm-hmm. So, not that they're... I think actually now that... who took over for cherry bombs? Flow, that company everybody runs. Magnaflow or whatever. Anyway, they bought out cherry bombs.
Homemaster.
Yeah, they started, they bought the cherry bombs and they changed it from, because the original company went from to Thrush, cherry bomb to Thrush now.
Slowmaster.
Yeah, Slowmaster. Actually changed the name back to Cherry Bomb, which is cool because now you're getting Cherry Bomb stickers again. So we picked up some sandpaper too, some 400 grit. Man, this was a steal on this stuff. A couple bucks a roll. We just picked up 2, but we picked that up in some 280. We got to do the roof on the Ford yet, so we needed some more sandpaper for that. We needed one of these pretty bad. We have... I'll show you how many drill bits we got. Got a little pen chuck for air. Got some grinder blades. These were even cheaper than they are at Harbor Freight. So we'll see how those. We'll let you guys know how those blades are. We picked up a set of number punches. Pop's actually tried it out here. You can see those number punches from over here. So that worked out nice.
I had a big old set that were too big to mark rods really with, so that's why we got the baby ones.
We got a nice timing cover for a small block Chevy.
Already cleaned up, saves me time.
That's the same one, big block too, isn't it?
I think so.
Got a nice jumbo plastic funnel to match my toolbox. We got a nice plug kit for the Pontiac. We didn't really get a deal on that, but it was kind of cool to have the part in my hand. You know, maybe motivate me to get back on that a little bit. Got a new T handle. Man, that guy was one of like $40 for those ones.
Yeah, some guy
used.
wanted $40 for an old beat up one, and
got this for half the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some adapters because our new 1/2-inch impact gun's a pain in the ass to get sockets on and off of. So we leave these adapters on there, which seems kind of anyway. Got a piston ring installer remover tool. Nice pair of cutters. I touched a zip tie with these and it cut it. Nice fuel rail for once we put the 4-barrel on the intake, the Edelbrock Performer on the extended cab. Got some transmission plugs. Already got one in the Super Turbine 350. I actually met a guy at the show that might want to pick that up from me once I change my transmission, which is exactly what I wanted to do, was find a good home for that transmission. Because somebody that was building a car that really wanted one, that one's in really good shape. It still shifts nice. So I have his card. It's nice to run into somebody who would want it. So we got some of these big roll-lock discs. These are knockoffs. So we'll let you guys know how they do. And maybe you don't have to waste your money. It looked like even these for one on Amazon was almost $13 a piece, and we got them for a fraction of the price. These are the bigger ones. But if you bought a pack of these, you still paid like another $10 on top of what you would at the show. So this was actually a pretty good deal because we were wore out on all these. So what's it, green, silver, yellow. Yellow's the lightest grid, and then the white's like a 120, and then the green's like a 60 or something. But for cleaning cast iron, you could use any of them. That would be fine. It's just the aluminum. You probably want to stay away from using green on the aluminum. So we picked up a nice glass fuel filter because, yeah, we run glass fuel filters and never have any issues with them. You know, your fuel pressure gauges are glass too. It's just really not an issue. Valve spring compressor. So that's nice. Pops just tried it out on the 350. He said back when he started doing engine work, these were kind of expensive. So we have the smaller, cheaper ones, and they can be a pain sometimes. So it's nice when you have the head off the car. It's nice to have both, actually. When you have the head off the car to use one of these, we have lots of heads to break down around here. So what else did we get? That's it.
yeah, pretty much.
Other than we got tired of going through drill bits, and I ordered these from a tool company. They supposedly offer the same warranty on these as they do on Snap-on drill bits. They said if I dull or break any of these, they'd send me another one. So we're going to try these out. We'll let you know. This is from Viper. There's their number. Supposedly made in the U.S., so we'll try those out too. We'll let you guys know how this stuff turns out so you know if it's worth your money to spend on the extra big stuff or maybe just stick with the inexpensive stuff. We'd like to try that. Be thrifty. So, James from All Hail Internal Combustion. Now that we got parts to keep our projects going, we'll be able to make more videos. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.